Hello, assalamu alaikum, Shat Shri Akal, namaste everybody. Today we are going to talk about the rise in petroleum prices. जैसा कि आप लोगों को पता है कि इंडिया के कई पार्ट्स में जो पेट्रोल के प्राइसेस हैं फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया 100 रुपये से भी ज्यादा हो गया है. नाउ दिस इज बिकम अ ह्यूज इशू, चूंकि ये हमें आपको सबको अफेक्ट करता है. प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने एज एक्सपेक्टेड प्रीवियस कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट को ब्लेम किया. You know, don't go into the rationale, you expected the prime minister to do that. लेकिन जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर है निर्मला सीतारमन, उनका एक बड़ा ही और भी एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी स्टेटमेंट आया है कि look, we have nothing to do with that. The prices are fixed and regulated by the private companies, so you go and talk to them. ये बड़ा ये हो रहा. So clearly nobody is bothered about के ये जो prices बढ़ रहे हैं तो इससे जो आम जनता को, कॉमन मैन को जो अफेक्ट हो रहा है, इससे क्या होगा. They are not bothered because they are winning elections, so they know कि as long as we are winning elections we can do anything. तो ये तो हो गई कि प्राइसेस बढ़ने की बात. लेकिन जो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है, जो हमने इससे पहले भी 2018 में एक बहुत ही डिटेल आर्टिकल हमने कैरी किया था कि जिसको हमने मोदीनॉमिक्स कहा था कि द मैजिक ऑफ मोदीनॉमिक्स, और जिसके ऑथर थे रवि नायर. रवि नायर हमारे साथ अभी हैं, ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं वो, और हम उनसे बात करेंगे कि ये जो प्राइसिंग होती है, प्राइसिंग के पीछे का खेल और इसका फायदा किसको होता है. कॉमन मैन तो दे ही रहा है 100 रुपया और 90 रुपया दे ही रहा है पेट्रोल और डीजल पे, लेकिन इसका फायदा किसको हो रहा है. तो आइए सबसे पहले वेलकम रवि नायर ऑन जनता का रिपोर्टर. Let's talk about the story that you wrote. The brilliant story event again is going viral on social media again since we shared it yesterday. Tell us the price composition of petrol. Who earns how much from 1 liter of petrol.
Thank you, Rifat. Our article, the one you mentioned, it's almost 4-year-old now. It's more than 3.5-year-old.
That's correct.
A lot of things changed after that, especially the tax components changed. And when we wrote on that time, the average price of crude was somewhere around less than $50. Today it stands around $62 per barrel. So there is slight variation in the fuel price, the basic crude price itself, but the major components are taxes. If we put it in a nutshell, 69% of the component of 1 liter petrol price, we are paying it on taxes. If you look at the last or the latest PPAC, that Petroleum Product Analyst Cell का this is a government agency which analyze the petrol prices and its market shares and all these things. Central government agency under the Ministry of Petroleum. If you look at the latest data published by them, see, as on February price build-up, as on February 16, okay, the base price of 1 liter petrol in Delhi is around 31 rupees 82 paise.
That's all, 31 rupees 82 paisa.
Exactly. So you'll add a freight charge, which is the transportation cost and all the stuff, that is 28 paise.
Okay. So sirf 28 paisa freight charges pe.
Exactly.
Right.
Then comes the excise duty. Excise duty as of now is 32 rupees 98 paise, almost 33 rupees.
So almost the cost of per liter petrol that the one is paying to buy.
Slightly more than.
Even more than that. Okay.
16.
Okay. So जो cost of petrol है उससे भी ज्यादा excise duty उस पे हम pay कर रहे हैं.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now on top of that, then comes the dealer margin.
वो तो कितना 3-4 रुपया होगा, वो कितना होगा वो?
It's 3 rupees 68 paise.
That's correct.
Right. Then comes the VAT, that is state tax. That is 20 rupees 61 paisa.
Right.
Okay. So this there are two things which is variable here: the base price which the refineries or the oil marketing companies sell to the retailers, and the VAT, the state VAT, which varies. VAT is basically an ad valorem tax. Ad valorem means if a product's price fluctuates, VAT fluctuates.
So अगर prices ऊपर जा रहा है तो VAT ऊपर जाएगा, prices नीचे जा रहा है तो VAT भी नीचे जाएगा.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
तो ये हुई वो 20 रुपए वाली बात जो आपने कहा कि 20 रुपए जो VAT है वो फ्लक्चुएट करता है. That's directly linked to the market price of the petrol.
Basic price.
Basic price of the petrol. Okay.
Yes, basic. See, VAT is calculated on the base price, right? And excise duty is fixed. The
Right.
central government's excise duty is fixed. Okay. Now, if we look at the excise duty, this is a very interesting thing. The basic thing, the crude oil. Okay, there's a customs duty. When crude oil is imported, there's a customs duty, which is very negligible. For example, when the crude is imported, there is 1 rupee per metric ton is a basic customs duty, and a 50 rupees per metric ton as NCCD. That's a part of this National Calamity Fund. Contingency.
Right.
Okay. So 51 rupees per metric ton is the basic customs duty plus NCCD on crude oil.
Crude oil. Right.
Right. There is a additional customs duty or called CVD, which is another 1 rupee. So 51 plus 1 rupee, 52 rupees per metric ton. The oil marketing companies pays when they import the crude to the central government. Okay, that completely goes to the central government.
Right. Let me draw you back to the excise duty again. जो आपने excise duty.
We are speaking about as we are speaking about the tax on petroleum. We are
right. Because that is important.
Yeah. Now the central excise, okay, it has 4 components as of now. One is a basic excise duty. The basic excise duty as on today on petrol is 1 rupee 40 paisa per liter. Just 1 rupee 40 paisa. The second part of it is special additional excise duty. That is 11 rupees per liter. So this 12 rupees, 11 rupees plus 1 rupee 40 paisa, that basic excise duty plus special additional excise duty, this goes to the divisible pool of the central government.
What is divisible pool?
Divisible pool is that part of whatever the government generates through divisible pool. The central government has to share amongst the government, the states, all the states and union territories.
So, जो 32 rupees, around 32 rupees, 33 rupees जो excise duty में central collect करता है, उसमें से 12 या 13 रुपया वो निकल जाता है जिसको सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिफरेंट स्टेट्स और यूनियन टेरिटरीज में शेयर करेगा.
12 रुपए 40 पैसे.
12 रुपए 40 पैसे. और बाकी का पैसा वो जो है वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास जाता है वो.
That goes to central government. Right? That goes to the central government.
Right.
Now, when it comes to this divisible pool, as per the Finance Commission suggestion, this varies. This amongst the states, there are different parameters and criteria for this. I don't want to go there right now. That's a different topic altogether. If we take the example of Kerala for that matter, if a person is filling 1 liter petrol in Kerala and if he is paying 32, the central excise duty is it's at par everywhere. Correct. Now, if somebody is paying this 32 rupees 98 paise from Kerala, from the divisible pool, almost 11 paise central government share with Kerala back.
Are you kidding me? So just 11 paisa. Sirf 11 paisa.
Yeah, that's see, Kerala share is from this divisible pool. The Kerala share is around 0.82%.
And how is that determined? कि किसको कितना मिलेगा? How is that determined?
See, that's actually there are different criteria. Then we have to go much deeper. I don't think
broadly how is that determined? Is the size of the population or the GDP? What is that?
Part exactly. It's a mix. Basically, it was based on population. Just the basic data was of 71, which was changed later. Okay, there are 3-4 different criteria for that, and when population, the financial state,
and that share has just to clarify, that share has always been like that, or it has only happened during the BJP government?
No, it came down actually. If you look at, I'll tell you exactly the percentage difference, how it came down once.
Yeah, it will be interesting to know, like, what was the percentage during the UPA time?
See, in 15-16, for example, the Kerala share was around 0.91%. It was reduced to 0.82% now. So it was a 0.9% reduction. And if you look at Tamil Nadu, it came down from 1.47% to 1.32%.
Right, right.
I mean, when we say that 0.15%, we feel it is minimal. But if we actually take that amount into consideration and actual rupee figure,
yeah, it becomes like quite.
In the case of Tamil Nadu, the difference is around 3,600 crores.
Wow. Yeah. No, but and coming back to, again, staying with excise duty. So has the central share of share of excise duty, has that always been this high, or I mean, if you compare it with the UPA government, how does it kind of like work out?
No, there's a huge difference. How it happened, let me tell you. Just one sec, let me open the file.
I think it will be interesting for our audience point of view, that if we do a comparative kind of thing, कि 1 लीटर जो पेट्रोल होता था उस वक्त मनमोहन सिंह के जमाने में सेंटर का शेयर कितना होता था?
Okay, see, the excise duty on petrol, has increased by more than 200%.
Wow.
From 2014 to 2021.
So it's fair to say that
basically in the starting of 2014, in March 2014, the excise duty on petrol per liter was 10 rupees 38 paise.
That's amazing. That's seriously amazing. I don't think हमारी जो जनता है उसको पता भी होगा कि मतलब ज्यादातर इंप्रेशन ये होता है कि प्राइसेस इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में बढ़ गया, हमें करना है, लेकिन यहाँ पे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने 10 रुपए से बढ़ा करके 33 रुपया कर दिया है, और इसकी वजह से लोगों को महंगाई का मार झेलना पड़ रहा है. जस्ट इमेजिन रवि कि अगर हम लेट्स से कि 10 रुपए से बढ़कर के आप 15 रुपया का सेंट्रल एक्साइज कर रहे होते. नहीं, मैं दूसरी बात कर रहा हूं कि अगर ये 15 रुपए लेट्स से
I have to tell you the difference in diesel. In the case of diesel, the excise hike is almost 600%.
This is amazing. I mean, I don't know whether to laugh at it or I don't know.
In March 2014, the excise duty on diesel was 4 rupees 58 paise per liter.
Just 4 rupees 58 paise.
As of now, this is 31 rupees 83 paise.
So this is increase of more than 27 rupees.
Yes.
So that's what I was going to say, that if there was no such hike in excise duty, you would be paying literally 30 rupees less on petrol. 30 रुपया less आपका petrol cost कर रहा होता, जो अभी 100 रुपये petrol है, you would be paying, despite all that hikes, you would still be paying around 70 rupees. और जो डीजल अभी आप 80 रुपये 90 रुपये पे कर रहे हैं, उसमें भी आप 15-20 रुपये आप कम पे कर रहे होते, right?
Yeah. So in comparison, state tax also, I mean, we have to be very fair. We have to say the state taxes also. Okay. So in Delhi, in the case of Delhi, VAT increased in both petrol and diesel. Okay. But in comparison of when the central excise increased by 200% on petrol, state VAT increased by 60%.
Okay. So now it increased, but not to the extent that, the central excise duty increased.
And in diesel, it increased by 68%. So if we say in figures, petrol VAT in Delhi March 2014 was 11 rupees 90 paise. Right. Today it is 18 rupees 94 paise. I mean, it's almost 20 rupees now, because there's a fluctuation. So it's almost 21 rupees right now. So
there are two points here, Ravi. If there's no point just blaming central, also we have to blame center, because they have actually increased excise duty को monumental level पे उन्होंने increase किया है, तो they have to face their share of criticism. But अगर state government भी चाहे तो वो भी प्राइस को कुछ हद तक चेक में रह सकती है। मिसाल के तौर पर गोवा में,
It's very difficult.
नहीं गोवा में मैंने देखा है बहुत दिनों तक, गोवा में जब सेंटर में यहाँ हाइक होता भी था तो गोवा में इसका इफेक्ट बहुत नेग्लिजिबल होता था, बिकॉज वो जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट वाला पोर्शन आप बता रहे हैं, दे यूज्ड टू कीप दैट इन चेक।
No, there's one thing very interesting here. Okay, then when in that case, we have to check the percentage of VAT charged by different states. It varies. Okay, Andhra Pradesh charges around 31% VAT plus 4 rupees and plus 1 rupee road development cess on petrol. Okay, and in diesel, it is 22.25 plus 4 rupees plus 1 rupee cess.
Okay.
Okay, in Delhi, it's 30% VAT on petrol. Okay, and in the case of diesel, 16.75% VAT plus from the dealer for every 1,000 liter he sells, he has to pay 250 rupees.
Okay, that goes to the state government, the Delhi government.
Delhi government.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if we look at Rajasthan, Rajasthan has one of the highest VAT. Okay, so Rajasthan charges somewhere around 36% on petrol and 26% on diesel VAT.
Is that the reason के जो 100 रुपए जो पर लीटर हुआ था वो गंगानगर में था? That was in Rajasthan, जहाँ पे सबसे पहले 100 रुपए पर लीटर हुआ था.
Not, but BJP is ruling Madhya Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, right? Yeah. It's 33% over there on petrol.
Okay.
Plus 4.5 liter VAT plus 1% cess. So in effect, Madhya Pradesh, a consumer is paying more on local taxes than in Rajasthan. In effect.
Now tell me, I mean, in light of what you have explained, then you have Nirmala Sitharaman coming and saying, making an extraordinary statement saying, I mean, the center can't do anything about it. It's literally saying that go and ask the oil companies, they are responsible for it. How do you explain
Not exactly.
that?
See, I got your question, but Rifat, the issue is Nirmala Sitharaman is right. Center, I don't think Center can do something on this because it affects their revenue. See, if you look at the contribution of the petroleum taxes into GDP, which stands around 2.3, 2.4% approximately. Okay, our economy is $2.9 trillion last year. 2%, 2.3, 2.4% of that is not a small amount if you calculate in rupees. $2.9 trillion what we are speaking about, and 2.3% of that figure. It's phenomenal. Okay. Now we have to understand a couple of more things here. Excise duty from petroleum products contributes almost 80 to 85% of all indirect taxes collected by Government of India.
नहीं, but Ravi, इसका मतलब यह है कि we know the economy has not been in good shape because of corona pandemic and various other factors and all. तो मतलब ये तो you can't justify ना कि दूसरे सेक्टर्स में जहां पे भी slump हो रहा है तो let's just compensate, make it up, हम पेट्रोलियम प्राइसेस में बढ़ाते रहे वहां से ताकि इकोनॉमी जो है हमारी मतलब गुड शेप में रहे. That can't be the justification.
It's not the matter of justification. See, you have to understand. See, excise revenue from petrol and diesel, okay, increased by 1,720 billion from 2014-15 to 2019-20. Okay, so if you look at the actual figures, 3,343 billion rupees was the tax collected through petroleum products in the financial year 2019-20. 2020-21 figure we don't have.
We don't have it yet, yeah. लेकिन ये तो अभी की बात हुई. I'll just try and kind of like wrap it up. कि going forward, let's say when the international, crude prices increase, then what happens? Abhi to $60 per barrel hai. Let's see if that goes further. Then what happens?
See, if you remember, we have mentioned in the article in 2017 when we wrote it. In 2010 to 12 period, the international crude price touched the maximum of around $144 per barrel.
Correct.
Petrol used to sell around 73 rupees. That was the max, I think, the petrol price went up in Delhi at least. Right? If we are selling petrol today at around 90 plus rupees in Delhi and the crude price is around $62.5, $63, if it doubles, what happens? If it goes that level,
that's frightening. That's frightening. Clearly, ये भी बढ़ेगा और बहुत तेजी से बढ़ेगा. So, just for our audience,
government has to intervene. See, government has to intervene. Okay, fuel prices has a direct correlation with the market.
Correct.
And the market economy.
जो ग्रोसरी आप खरीदना है, सब्जियां खरीदते हैं, that will become expensive because वो आप कैरी करते हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं, तो उस जिस ट्रांसपोर्ट में भी तो आप फ्यूल यूज करते हैं, तो जाहिर सी बात है वो आप पे पड़ेगा. लेकिन मेरा कहना यह है कि अपने ऑडियंस के लिए जो देख रहे हैं,
not only that, okay, if we look at the mode of transport of people, okay, who has individual transport, who work long, who where the public transport was not easily accessible or it's not so frequent, most of them uses two-wheelers,
yeah,
right. It's a lower middle class population. They uses maximum two-wheelers.
Correct.
Two-wheelers run on petrol. A person who's earning around 700 rupees per day on a daily wage, for example, he travel in a two-wheeler, right? If he has to travel 50 kilometers, and if his mode of transport, scooter, bike, motorbike, whatever it is, if it gives 50 kilometer mileage per liter, he's spending almost 200 rupees for his up and down.
So his savings is cut.
No. The money which he could spend somewhere in some other sector, for his food, maybe for his clothing, maybe for some other thing, that's gone down. So what is the biggest problem with us right now, the Indian economy? The demand is not increasing. Why the demand is not increasing? People, they don't have money. Right?
You're right. I mean, that's really a frightening situation. But no, going forward, I mean, I just want to conclude it by asking you that what is the way out? I mean, how does government intervene and bring the price down? Number one, and number two, do you really see realistically the prices coming down?
I doubt. Prices coming down. See, international crude price, it depends on the producing countries and their associations, right?
Correct.
The international crude market fluctuates, and whenever the market goes down, now this producers organization like OPEC take serious call and they control the production. Because if you look at those countries, that's their major source of income, right? The petroleum, the crude and the petroleum, that's their major source of income. And everyone knows that this petrol economy is not going to last forever. So they'll try to make as much as money possible till this exists. Maybe in the next 40, 50 years, this must dry down. People will move to alternate fuel. So till we reach that stage, right? Or till this use of petroleum gradually comes down,
Indian consumers will continue to pay.
Price control will remain. And if it goes to that high level, then there is no other way. Government has to intervene, and it goes to that earlier regulatory mechanism where
So what is the price according to you? The 1 liter petrol has to reach before the government could intervene. I mean, what is that mark?
That we cannot predict, right? See, I mean, even if 1 liter petrol costing 100 plus rupees, still the government is not intervening. I don't know, right? When the economy is not in good shape, government should have intervened when the prices touch 75 plus.
Correct. Or do you think the government is just confident that, you know, whatever happens, Hindutva will win us elections anyway, EVM will win us elections anyway, so let's just...
No, not only that, you know, I mean, the government keep announcing mega projects. Whenever a state election comes, like, you know, the government is going to give 100,000 crores in that state. We will do this, we will do that. So for this grand announcement, even if they have to really achieve that, money is needed.
Yeah.
Where the money is coming from?
No, I was expecting government to actually intervene because, you know, there are elections in five different states. So I was just hoping that government should do something, but it hasn't. Let's see what happens, you know, in coming days or months, you know, because it doesn't look very nice.
No, there's another interesting thing here. If you look at it, Assam reduced the VAT by almost 2 rupees. It's going to, the state governments are forced. Central government did nothing. But Assam, it's a BJP rules.
BJP rules states, yeah.
So might have gone from the center or from the party leadership. We don't know.
Yeah.
Possible, right?
And also there might be other reason, the political reason. BJP is on sticky wicket because of the CEA and the protest and all, you know. So this way they might have...
Those are different political issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So BJP may have kind of decided to reduce the, you know, the state tax in order to kind of like...
Probably,
yeah,
yes. But
yeah.
Assam is not, Assam's, the state's financials are not in good shape.
Yeah.
And most of the states cannot afford to reduce their taxes because they are in dire need.
Yeah.
Central government couldn't pay their share of GST last year properly, and the central government forced states to borrow extra.
Yeah, we know about that controversy last year. Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much, Ravi. That was really informative. You know, we needed to explain this for our audience, and let's hope that, you know, government intervenes and there is some kind of respite for the audience, for the common man, or, you know, Aam Janta. Thank you very much, Ravi. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for calling me.
Hope to have you back, you know, soon to talk about some other, you know, important topics.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great day.